Meantime, the unconventional research from our next guest led him to break some news on a couple of huge recent deals by studying flight patterns. He gets his hands on some of those tail numbers. He recognized Warren Buffett's role in the Anadarko Occidental deal, and then by combing through 13F filings, he rang the alarm on Carl Icahn's involvement in the recent Xerox HP drama. He's back now with another bomb to drop. This time it is, I don't know if it's a bomb, but we'll see, on Netflix. Joining us right now is John Bilson. He is the head of events-driven research at Gordon Haskett. What do you know?
This is what I know. Well, we snuffed out Icahn by reading Nomura's Q2 13F. And Nomura was the largest buyer of HP during Q2. We figured that it was putting an activist into a swap position that would come out at some point. That evidently happened last week with Carl Icahn. So 13Fs for Q3 were due out Thursday. And if you look at the filing from Nomura, we obviously went there because that's where we were riding a hot hand.
Right.
But you look at Nomura's filings, you have a huge new position in AT&T. That very well could be Elliott at AT&T. Yeah. There's a big new position at Emerson. That could be D. Shaw at Emerson, which is now an active position. There was the big HP position, which is we now know as Carl. There was an Allergan position, which is involved in a deal. But then at the top of the list is Netflix. And somebody wanted to put on a position during Q3 when the stock was getting beat up. It was $260, $270 stock. Somebody put on a position that they didn't want anybody to know about. And that's what we think Nomura did. And we have our suspicions on who it might be.
Okay. Do you think it's because the stock was underpriced, or do you think it's because they want to change the direction of Netflix?
I don't think that it is an active position where somebody's going to go in there and start beating up Reed Hastings. That would be a complete folly. I believe he's one of the most bulletproof CEOs out there. Great company.
So what are we supposed to take away from this?
I think what you take away from it is that an Icahn or an Ackman is going to stamp this company with his approval.
Why do you think it's Ackman or Icahn?
I think it's Ackman because it fits a pattern that he's been doing, which is he buys great companies now. He doesn't buy turnarounds. He buys Nike, he buys Starbucks, he buys Hilton.
Learned his lesson.
He buys Berkshire. He buys blue chips, best in breed. That's Netflix. It's just a little beat up right now, and it's got some competitive issues it's going through. But Netflix is a great company.
Right.
And Nike's a great company. And I think that the pattern fits. And Ackman has said on his Q3 call for Pershing Holdings that he was building a new position. It's between 8 and 9% of his AUM. That kind of fits what the size would be at Netflix. And he said he wants to top it off opportunistically. It's possible, and I just want to kind of tap the brakes, that Nomura kind of let the cat out of the bag on Thursday.
What's the chance that it's not either of these guys? Right? Or no?
It's not likely too many people other than these two. A Third Point was in the stock in Q2 and sold it in Q3. It doesn't make sense that they would reload in a swap. I just think that the most likely candidates would be Icahn, who's been there before and made $1 bazillion here, and
but you don't think that, but whoever this is, you don't think this is somebody who's going to agitate for change?
I don't. I just think that that's kind of beating your head against the wall. I mean, you might make some suggestions to dial back on the content budget and take it down from 15 to 8, 9, $10 billion and really turn this into a cash flow engine. That's about as much as you could do. Could you recommend that, they start talking to Apple? I don't know.
Have you been following? Do you have the tail numbers for Mr. Ackman and Mr. Icahn?
We do not.
Okay.
So.
I just didn't know if there was any trips to California.
No, we don't have that, or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Okay, Don, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll keep our eyes on this one.